Hey y'all, can you see me okay? What's up? Hey, thanks for coming by. Here's Sabrina again, your favorite storyteller with another incredible, crazy story. As I speak to you, I am cleaning this card file, and there's 90 drawers in this thing. And I mean, I've cleaned it. It was in a garage for a long time. Oops. And but I haven't like really scrubbed around the drawers, you know. So I've got this handy dandy little magic eraser, and I'm cleaning the drawers while I talk to you. And it's kind of funny because some of these drawers are grimier than others because it had library cards in it, so you can tell the drawers that were used more. It took me a second to figure that out. I was like, why is this one dirtier than that other one? Well, so far, which is interesting to me, I'm about halfway down, getting close. It's tedious, but anyway, it's worth it because it looks a lot better. But so this is my studio. It's for Reiki and art and yoga, whatever, because I've got mirrors on the other side here. I'm going to turn it around so you can see I got mirrors there. See that? See my checkered pants? It's a casual day. I've been running pretty hard, and I was going to try to get a video out to y'all yesterday, but here we are. So, Butters is napping in his little spot, and this room for years was stacked up to here. I mean, it has taken a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it to its glory. So, and I'm not kidding, blood, sweat, and tears. But as I was cleaning these drawers, get back to my story. I'm all over the place. It's like, okay, the one drawer so far that had the most grime around it, which meant the most people looking things up, right? You wouldn't believe how dirty this stuff is around here. This magic eraser's got worn out. Guess what? What it was? It was people looking up books on insanity. Insanity. Popular subject in the library, I suppose. But anyway, so I was going to tell y'all a story about something insane that happened to me. It was a few decades ago. Let's see. It was 3 decades ago. It's 30 years ago. You're getting there when you start talking in decades instead of years. Okay? But anyway, I might just stop this so I can talk to y'all. But I was going through a very tumultuous time again, and there was this neighbor of mine, and his birthday was coming up, and I got him, somebody gave him a cowboy hat, and he put it on. I swear he looked just like Garth Brooks. I was like, oh my gosh. So I bought him a real Garth Brooks cowboy hat for his birthday, and we decided we were going to go out to downtown Orlando to this big country dancing place. I forgot which drawer I was at, but anyway, so I can't do this and talk to y'all at the same time. I'm going to just turn around and park here next to Butters, who's down here. Let's see here. See if we can get it down a little. Ouch. I have pinched myself on this thing. How y'all like my spooky shirt? Woo! Spooky, spooky. Halloween's like one of my favorites. Yeah, so anyway, I don't edit anything, so it is what it is. Okay, so anyway, I go out with this neighbor of mine, and we go to this two-stepping place. Now, I said I was going to be the designated driver, and he said, okay, but then, he said he didn't feel like drinking, so he was going to be the designated driver. Well, that changed after I had a couple of drinks. You know, I didn't get in trouble every time I drank, but every time I got in trouble, I was drinking, basically. So I said, let's get a cab or whatever. It was before Ubers, and let's, go home. Well, some guy had been buying him shots. And so I didn't know that. He was really impaired. And we got in his Chevy S10 and headed to breakfast, okay? And this guy joined us. Well, we didn't get a couple of blocks away, and we were swinging around this one corner onto Garland Avenue, downtown Orlando. Now, as we're swinging around, an 18-wheeler is swinging around this way. So, okay, let's put it this way. So it's going this way, and we're going this way, and we went underneath it. Okay, now I'm sitting on the console between these two guys, because I had been buckled up, but he invited this guy at the last minute. So here I am, stuck in the middle. And so we hit this truck, and I hit the rear view mirror with my forehead, okay? And that guy immediately got out and ran. He just disappeared. And then this one gets out. And, paramedics must have been sitting right there, because they came up and they asked me, did you lose consciousness? And I'm like, I don't know, did I? And I'm hurting so bad that I look down, and my right arm is like down in the seat, okay? The elbow is resting on the seat next to me. And always the jokester, I'm trying to say, difficult breathing here. There's something wrong with my arm, like understatement of the century. Well, apparently I had dislocated my shoulder, and my arm was hanging 8 inches out of the cuff, okay? And my nose was broken pretty bad. I had glass all over. I had like a mirror tiara going on. I had a deep muscle injury on my left leg, and it was an ugly scene, okay? Your life can change in a minute when you make bad decisions, especially when you're around something that can impair those decisions. Lesson of the day, folks. So anyway, because of that one moment, I lost everything. I lost my house. I lost my car. I couldn't drive. I was in physical therapy. I lost my job, of course, because I couldn't get into my job. I couldn't walk. Then this girl from ICU told me, she was like, honey, you got to come stay with me. We made friends. And I ended up moving in with her, with my son. My daughter went and found somebody else to live with. She was old. Kids were teenagers. She was right at driving age. To this day, she doesn't drive. Neither one of my kids drive very much. But anyway, so the drugs that they put me on caused amnesia. So I was a hot mess. I would look at the refrigerator and call it the TV, and I'd call my kids my brother and sister's name. And it was a bad scene. For 2 years, I could not use my right arm at all. So I became dependent on my left hand. I learned how to tie my shoelace with my left hand. With this neuropathy, current day, that I got from a pill they gave me, that went sideways, not the one I'm on now, but the one I took months ago, I've still got neuropathy, and I couldn't use my right hand for a while, and I was like, this is only temporary. I've been through this before, okay? I am very lucky to have a healed shoulder. Actually, my first session with Alba Weinman, she did this thing where, we addressed my shoulder and fibrocystic that I had 16 lumps and in my breasts, and those went away, gone. My shoulder was healed. and I was up for surgery with the VA, and it was healed. You know, amazing what your body can do. And Alba's a gift. She's a gift from God, for real. We all know that. But anyway, so I had more doctors tell me you should be dead. I mean, you should be headless. Apparently the crunch factor, there's a crunch zone in a Chevy. I ended up selling Chevys for a hot minute and couldn't stand it, but because I believed in them, they were such safe cars, you know, because of that crunch zone in their hood. It saved my life, okay? But I was pretty messed up. I had to get my nose reconstructed. I had to get some work done up here because I had a really bad, like, Harry Potter scar and stuff like that. But here I am, telling the story. You know, God spared me. God spared me. There's all there is to it. But anyway, fast forward, I'm going to tell you real quick. When I'm staying at the girl's house, she had a wolf. She had this gigantic wolf, okay? And that thing loved me, and she's a little thing. She had this big old wolf. And I had a giant lizard, Pugsley, my insanely big fat baby. He was about 5.5, maybe 5 3/4 feet. He was a big old boy. And him and that wolf got along great. It was a magical household, let's put it this way. Now, this girl, Cheryl, did automatic writing, and that is the first time I ever heard of automatic writing. Well, anyway, I went to my room. She had a big house, so my son had a room, I had a room, and Pugsley had the whole screened-in back porch, and so we were pretty set. And of course, she was an incredible nurse. So God bless her, and thank you, God, for putting somebody in my path when I needed them. I mean, it's another moment of miracles in my life, you know. First off, that I survived, and then that I made friends with a person that had such a heart. But anyway, I'm, sleeping, and she had a couple of friends over and her boyfriend. Now, I had gone to pick up, we went to get some stuff for dinner, and I went with them, and we were in a small truck, and I was on the console again. And we're going to the store, and we came up to an intersection, four-way intersection, and here came this truck. And it looked like we were going to hit it. And I went, please, God, don't let this happen to me again. Please, And then all of a sudden, everything flashed like it strobed. And then the truck was behind us. And I'm thinking, was that the drugs that I'm coming off of? Because she told me, get off these, so we got off these drugs. But still, I was thinking, something wrong with my brain that I saw that? Well, I was like, did y'all see that? And they were like, what? And I said, well, everything strobed, and that truck was there, and then all of a sudden it was there. And they were like, okay, Sabrina, which I've heard more than once in my life. But so fast forward to me being asleep, one of the guys knocked on the door, and I was like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, you've been summoned. I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, there's somebody who wants to talk to you. And I was like, who? And he said, Cheryl's doing some automatic writing, and the other side has a message for you. Somebody on the other side. I was like, okay, that's unusual. So I went in there and sat down at the table, and she read what she had just done automatic writing with. And she wrote it all, And they had said, we need to give a message to Sabrina. And I was like, okay, so she's still got them in her sights or whatever. And I said, well, what's the message? And they said, you have been spared because you have a very important mission that you need to carry out. And I'm like, okay. And they said, did you not see us reweave time for you today? And I mean, I get chills thinking about that. I was like, Y'all remember when I said I saw the strobe in that truck, did that? And they were like, oh my God. And I said, and they said, yes, that was us. I mean, she's right. I was like, oh, this is crazy. So then she says, well, they said, I don't know who they were. Can't remember that part. But they said, you are supposed to bring in a new, now here's the words, Edda, Edra, Era. Your language is so difficult. Well, don't think I haven't looked up Edda, Edra before Era. And there's some Norse mythology about Edda. And it's kind of like the Iliad and the Odyssey kind of thing, but from absolutely where Ragnarok, where Thor was supposed to be from. It is a place like in Norway or something that they have like statues or something, some kind of, memorial kind of thing about it. I looked all that up. And I tried to reach out to a couple of people and they thought it was crazy. So, so much for that. But yeah, I believe it is, after pondering over that for about 30 years, I think we are bringing in a new era. And I think it's the era of the Christ consciousness waking up in all of us. I think it's an era of light versus dark, but it's not in a battle kind of way. It's in a realization kind of way. And as light workers, it is our job to shine. I know I keep saying that, but the more we shine, darkness can exist where there's light, okay? And it'll bring others to the light that are lost. The best you can do is have joy in your everyday life. I don't know where to look on this thing. Where am I looking? But anyway, wake up happy. If there's disturbing thoughts, release that, okay? I mean, the more you're thinking dark things, you're being tested. The dark doesn't like you going to the light. You're being challenged. So grab yourself and fill yourself up with love and light. Count your blessings. Be grateful. Find something. You don't have to look hard. There's miracles happening all around us. A butterfly, a bird singing, a child laughing, a dog being silly, okay? It's there if you're open to it. You don't really have to look for it. Just be open to joy, okay? Because joy brings light. And the season's coming up is about joy. It's not about buying crap for people. It's about happiness, joy, and celebrating love and light and togetherness. We're all one, y'all. We all have Christ consciousness of that God particle running around in our atoms, okay? It's all good if you concentrate. Just stay in the light, stay in the light. Dark comes to you, take a deep breath, do it slowly, bring it in 4, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, until you start feeling that light going through your body. Bring in the good, hold it, hold on to that good, and then expel all the dark, whatever thought, get it out of here. Imagine it dissipating and just being gone with the wind. That is my message for the day. As usual, stay in the light, have faith, whatever you believe in, and I believed I was healed. Here I am. Whoopie-doo, wah, wah, wah. I'm healing again, baby. My last, Monday, my oncologist called. Last lab results said that all of my markers are normal as hers are. So I said, would you consider that miraculous? And she smiled. She said, yes, I would. Keep doing what you're doing. So it'll be another 6 weeks before I get labs again. And then we're going to be looking at a PET scan here by next year. And I believe with all my might that I am healed, I'm victorious, God's got my back. Jesus is my physician. And I pray for all of y'all every day. Okay? Get out there and shine, babies. I love y'all so much. Butters, he's asleep over here. He's all snuggled up. Say bye-bye, Butters. Yeah. All right. I love you. Bye. Till next time.